And this page 125, the last paragraphs. And even among these, there are only very few have all the freedoms and the advantages. With all this perspective in mind, you should be filled you should be filled with joy that you really have all freedoms and advantages are completed. And a human life can be called precious human life, like all the to intact freedoms and advantages, then we call the precious human existence or the human life. Only it is completed with all aspects of freedoms and advantages, then we call the precious, extraordinary human existence. And from then, one word, it truly becomes precious. And really it's like, we can to say, it's like when we analyze to check everything, and then we discovered we are really obtained the perfect human precious. We have like 24 freedoms and 10 advantages. Everything is we have these circumstances. And then it's like, in that moment, we can to call the truly like kind of the becomes precious. And when we are like to say, and to imagine, when you buy the car, maybe there's many different cars, and all of them is maybe not precious, maybe not like what you want. And maybe you expect cars like something different. You say it's like this. And then it's like some companies to say, okay, this is the really best cars. Why? We have all the inside facility, fast electronic gadgets, everything. And what you are expecting. But that moment also maybe car is purchased by the companies is precious, excellent, but until you discovered, you cannot to say this is perfect. And you enter inside to turn the engine and to drive a little bit few kilometers, and then you can to check how it is the comfortable house. Then you feel precious, oh yes, now. It's really in that moment, like kind of the onward, you can to say truly, my car is the precious, my car is good. And if there is something missing, problems, and the company says the good, but you discovered, this is not, oh no, I need to collect really what I want. And this is not really, because there's electric, engine, something is problem, I need to collect it, like this. And truly these cars are precious. We discovered truly cars like precious, like this. And generally speaking, human existence, human car, any kind of the vehicle of the sentient being's body, and of course they are like kind of the vehicle, and they are carrying the consciousness, they can like continue there. But most vehicle, most precious is the human existence. Now this time is we got it. Which companies to give to us? Maybe parents' companies, or maybe our own like kind of tendencies to give these opportunities to got these precious cars. Okay. And once we got, we need to check everything is completed. And we discovered we should to be glad, we should to be joy, we should to be happy. And now I need to shoot to driver where you want. You want to go to different citadels. And that is the most important, complete. But as long as any of these aspects that incompleted, incompleted, then, however, extensive your knowledge, learned, and talent in ordinary things may be, you do not have a precious human life. And in particularly the 34 human qualities, all of them is inside. Maybe some is the missing, and problems, those aspects are incompleted. Some is missing. Then, however, extensive your knowledge. So maybe you are very much intelligent, and the worldly, maybe you have everything. Maybe you are worldly learned. Maybe you are very much kind of intelligent to do some, to avoid problems and to do something, very much talent in ordinary things way. But you are not to say that your human existence is a precious human existence. And this body is become the precious or not precious, entirely depends the compassion and the wisdom, particularly the compassion. If we have the fully unmistakable compassions inside the attitude, then it's changing the process of the conduct, movement of the verb, body, and then it's become the precious. For your perspective, your body, speech, mind is precious, and others' perspective, you are the precious, because for them it's a very happy and precious human lives. You have what is called an ordinary human lives. There are many different types of the human life. Ordinary human lives. Okay, sometimes we can to obtain the human and quite healthy, quite worldly you have. You can collect properly food, clothes, earn the money to look after your family, and not much kind of the thinking about the benefit. Maybe your perspective, what is the positive, what is the negative? Of course, some in the perspective you know when you drivers, or I need to drive very carefully because if I'm accident, I'm dying. And maybe we can to concern in that. If I'm drive good, okay, I will good. Maybe you can to concern like this. For example, maybe killing, stealing, doing sexual misconduct, it is positive or negative, maybe not thinking how much I got the pleasure and the kind of the something for me, and that is for me is intelligent, I'm good, successful. If I'm lose something like things, not good. If I'm sick, I need to take care, I need insurance, I need medicine, okay, that's correct. This kind of doing ordinary, not much concern in benefit, nothing understand the compassions, nothing understand the how to develop wisdoms, this kind of, okay, we born, we are like human, while live, then we die. It's a little bit similarity of the animals, it's not different. That is we call the ordinary human lives. They're merely human existence, merely human existence. It is like a merely human existence. It is a kind of it is just like this, obtain the human existence, just like this. And when we come to say it's like, who you are, I'm a human being. Are you sure? Yes, I'm a human being. And it is important, I don't know. It is very bad, I don't know, I'm just a human. And there is like a kind of, just like a kind, how do you say, exactly what I said, how do you say, ordinary humans' lives. It's very much just to be the human existence. That's all. Like many like this. And can eat, can drink, can wash, and can clean, okay, to do something correct. That you can to do it. Sometimes even they cannot do like this. But this kind of merely human life. And hapless human lives, like a kind of misfortunate human lives, human. Hapless human life means it's like kind of all the time is involved negativities. And like kind of the influence by mind is the negative tendencies. All the time is like a kind of whatever do, whatever say, whatever thinking is the negative. And this is like kind of the hapless human life. It is really sometimes truth. We need to concern again, this kind of hapless human life. And the meaningless human life exactly is you do all the times like a kind of the negative things. And how do you say this? The merely human existence, ordinary human life exists, and this top of that meaningless human life, the human lives. I often say, once I met in the one restaurant, one Chinese person, he's got the job. Every day he's coming to in the restaurant to prepare the fish for. Maybe like sometimes 1,000 or 2,000 fish he need to kill. And to come into there, all like 4 hours to killing, to prepare that. And then it's every day is like this. And then this perspective, and then it's like I ask to how it is your jobs. Yeah, very good. I can to earn money. I can to do this. I have very good jobs. And he's like, it's how do you say it? Just ordinary way of the human life. Like mere human life, the meaningless is like doing these things until he die, he doing. Then it's the really completely meaningless. They died, then maybe it's the after that maybe forever difficult to get to the humans. Maybe all the times again and again to like cycle in the low realms. This kind of meaning. But of course, like this kind of meaningless. And to be obtain human existence but involves negative, then is the meaning of the human life is meaningless and human lives. Then is the human life returning empty-handed. And because we obtained the human existence, we didn't do nothing positive, okay, to come in obtain human existence. When we died, there is nothing can do to carry to next life the positive things. This means it's like when we departure, that time is almost an empty hand. There's not much positive picnics cannot to bring. This means it's like a return empty hand. And then it is like failing to us, is a wishing for feeling gem, despite holding it on your hand. Like a kind of despite or dispute. And it's like kind of the exhausting or the getting rid of yourself. Now we can to say, oh, I got the very special jewels, we can to say. Maybe if I got the diamond of the size like this. Okay, but I don't know, I can throw out it. And then after some months to find, they say, priceless. But then I say, why I throw out it? Stupid, because before in my hand it was. So like this, maybe size of this diamond, how many trillions the Europes, we don't know. It is like this. And certainly God, I don't recognize this is diamond or something, you throw out it, that's also. Like this, now we got this, the human existence, this precious in our hand, this wishing for feeling gems, despite it, holding like this in exhaust in your hand, like kind of exhausted, use the useless way. Then it's like the returning empty hand from at the land full of the precious gold. Sometimes this kind of, we can examples it. When you be in the gold sand land and you look around, everywhere is gold. And you think it's maybe everywhere it's like this, why I need to go to collect? And we think like this. Certainly something is changed, we need to move. Other we arrive at sand land, and someone says like, you are come from the gold land, the sand land. Did you collect some gold? I'm very sorry. I thought it's gold sand is everywhere, but I'm empty hand. I didn't collect nothing. So, like this time is we have been in the gold sand land, and we need to collect something, and we cannot return. It's like an empty hand from land full of the precious gold. And then they come across the precious jewels. And this is nothing compared to the finding these precious human lives. Even if we finding the precious jewels of the gold, diamond, silk, and like a kind of different, cannot to compare those kind of the precious things. For example, we can to say, if you find a diamond of the like this side, okay, you have enough, you can to fill up few banks and like the monies, but it never give you the freedom from the samsaras. It never give you for the state of the enlightenment, never. But these human beings, and we used very well through these human bodies, and these human bodies can give to us the most happiest, most successful, and the enlightenment. And that is cannot compare like this. Look how these who are the not sadness by the samsara, fetter life awaits. And those some is stupid. They haven't got sadness like by the samsaras. They have such clinging to the samsaras, and then is the fetter life away, means life is just spent useless, meaninglessly, and like this, life is away, fetter kind of the freighter to get rid of the kind of the just using meaninglessly, like this. To win the whole kingdoms is the nothing compared to meeting a perfect teacher. Once you are meeting the teacher, spiritual, good, compassionate teacher, it is not cannot compare. Even if you become the president, you become the ruler of this world. What this kind of positions to use? If we met the good and the kind of the compassionate, peerless, spiritual friend, teachers, it can give to us ultimate position of the Buddhahood. This one is, look how those with the devotions, no devotions, treat teacher as the day equals. And according to our disturbing emotions, according to ignorant, even we are sometimes together peerless, this kind of great teachers, but we can't see the qualities, we all the times perceive the defects aspect, and then to consider it as the equal, what is different. And then it's difficult to receive the really hard core of the teachings. And like this, no devotion, difficult to have receive blessing. No blessing, difficult to have proper realization of the ultimate meanings. And look how those with in compassion, here they are, vows away. And Jensen there, promise is to catch sight of the Buddhas. This goes together like this. When you are like kind of the ask or the taking the Buddhist of vows, it is this kind of this is like a great commitment of the compassions. And this one is like a really, it's not cannot compare something is like to be the such higher or such a kind of the important precious you got it. And to be the like kind of head of some company or like the areas or the countries. And there is someone hasn't got the compassions. These Buddhist vows are the who rule there is a vow, the ways it is like a kind of, in Tibet we have very special weapon, and like kind of called the Urdu, and this is like kind of her. There's vows are ways, and it's like to in the middle you put stone, and then to turn and to throw to the someone's. When you hit, it's very, very painful. Like this, yours like precious vows of the individual liberation vow. Buddhists have a vows, and this important precious vow, you got it, but you don't care that you're like discipline, you don't care the samayas, then you like same as the stone you throw out. Like this, just in there, the commit as like to catch sight of the Buddha is like in comparison. It is like a special you got the, but you are not much caring. You are like kind of the throw away. To be the given comment of the province, and it's nothing compared to the receiving the Bodhisattva, the vows. To be the given command of the province. The province means it's like maybe, I don't know, province. This is connected to the first. And if you are like received those vows, it's like you cannot compare that you become the head of the like province or some things. Nothing compared to receiving the Bodhisattva vows or the like kind of samaya, and this particularly here the Bodhisattva vows.